Hello and welcome to episode 24 of our Timberborn 1.0 full release playthrough with the Folktales on the Down the Plug Hole map cycle 35 at day 3. And today, folks, is the day. We have added the Riverborne Raft Logistics mod to the game, which adds a raft dock, raft guides of straight and diagonal varieties, and a raft ramp that requires power. And what we're going to do, I'm going to try my best to have something functional in this episode, is start the process of sending raw materials from our farms and tree areas up here into the central industrial zone. And there's a couple other things we can do, but I've been so excited for this since before I started this series when I saw this mod show up. So let's talk very briefly about what this does. It does not require different districts. I have tested this and I've gotten it working, so I absolutely 100% know this is true. But the raft dock functions like I always thought district centers should. I don't really have anywhere to actually build it so I can show you, at least not at this exact moment. Let me try and find a, if I can remember how to use my keyboard. Good job. Well, at some point I'll figure a place to put it so I can actually show you the interface of this. Maybe, there we go. Yes, I want to unlock it. But without them building this, and I know they can't because they can't reach it, how this works is it has a dispatches function. We hit the plus sign here. You get to pick what it sends on each raft and how often the rafts leave. So, instead of just saying, all right, well, if there's something on this side, put it to the other side and have to click on or off for every single thing, you can specify exactly what you want, and the beavers will do it without having to have separate districts. And this is honestly the best thing I've seen in a really long time regarding logistics in this game. And I think you guys are really going to love it. But my idea was to have a couple of these for different areas. Obviously, we want to send logs down. That's one of the primary goals. But we could also do the raw food ingredients. We could do water. We could do bad water. Or anything, as long as we have 70 kilograms or less on each raft. So, obviously, we're not going to build this here. I just wanted to show that to you. But since we have this set up, I might as well go ahead and unlock the rest of these raft guides and the raft ramp and just go ahead and show you how this works. So once a raft reaches this zone here, it will automatically be offloaded into this building, and then beavers can come into the doorway and deal with it. But you have to guide it there, and it will go based on water flow. Like you see how this is moving, the rafts will just kind of take whatever path to go this way. And if there's something in the way, they have to be guided around it. Or if you want them to go to a specific spot or a specific side, you have to tell them to do that. So you can take these raft guides. Say, for example, we have something flowing this way. We don't want it to flow off the side. We just have to have it bump up against here while the water is flowing, no matter which direction the water is flowing. As long as it is generally this way, this diagonal guide will just send it right through here. And if we build in a wall around that, then it'll guarantee that that gets picked up. And again, we're not putting this right here. This is just the first spot I could find where it was available open for that. But say you have something like a set of dams. Well, you have to have the rafts go over it, so that is where the ramp comes in play. And I did kind of fiddle around with this a little bit before I started recording. So I know exactly how this is supposed to work. I just don't want to do all that stuff to show you because it's going to be a super crazy, ridiculous thing, and we'll just do it when the time comes. But the raft ramp, just like, you know, if you had Hot Wheels as a kid or something, it has these spinny things that will literally launch the rafts over the obstacle. They just have to be powered. So we'll figure out what we're going to do with that when the time comes. Well, let's go ahead and get rid of this. There's a couple more things that I want to do before we really hit the ground running here. And we got 30 extra beavers right now. Plus, we have one of these triple lodges that has nobody in it. We're going to turn that on in just a moment. But since we have all these extra beavers, we might as well put in some more builder's huts, some more hauling posts, even if they're temporary, and get these guys going. So, I'm going to start by putting in 3 of these. Just set to 10 each. We already have plenty of builders. I think, honestly, the amount of builders is fine. No, that's not the one I wanted to deprioritize. I wanted to deprioritize the workplace. And there you go. So that's going to help us out just a little bit. Now we've got to talk about pathing for the rafts, because we have a big tree farm up here. We have a big tree farm up here. We have a couple different places we could put our raft launching zone. And the rafts are pretty slow, or I guess, rather, they go the speed of the water, because, of course, that's how that works. and we have pretty slow water. So we don't really want to have it super far away. And it's not really easy to get them to launch properly from a place like this. So what I think might make more sense is to come into maybe the crook area here and then just have it flow downstream. They will get caught on the natural dams. I have confirmed that. So what you can do instead is just remove these. This won't retain any water this way, but it will cause the rafts not to get stuck. Or you can pick a different launching point. In my testing, I did it down here, but it was kind of a pain in the butt, and I don't really want to do that in the actual playthrough. So we have log storage here. We've got a zipline station. We don't have to take the zipline stations out. We don't have to do different districts. We don't have to do whatever. This is just a supplement, so it's not going to break anything. And I think the easiest thing to do, seeing how this is set up, I mean, probably is just going to be to come over here. But we do still have to get the beavers in here to get everything taken down. So why don't we go ahead and put in a staircase here. We'll get these all marked for demolition. I know this might seem kind of dumb since we're trying to farm trees, but this is not space we absolutely need to use for farming. This is logistical stuff. So I think that is going to make the most sense. We're going to have this come down here, make sure this is connected with the path. Once they clear this out, I should be able to... Maybe not. No, there's not a single spot down here I can put another staircase. Alright, that's annoying. What? Am I really going to have to come all the way down here? Well, you know how it goes. That is how the turntables, as it were. So I'm just going to have them come down here and slowly, manually remove all of these trees. And then make use of this space down here. Well, we've got time. We don't have, you know, unlimited time. But we do, in fact, have time. So I think probably the easiest way to make this not a complete and total disaster is going to be to also have them take these dams out, which is going to require some construction, like I was saying before. I don't think I can get down here. So I'd have to come down from this side. Once again, this is going to just be one of those things. I don't need to say it. You already know. But these will both need to be removed. Let's just demolish those. Like I said before, I'm not going to build a ramp launcher up here because there's no power, but we'll make use of that when we need to. Which means to keep this area irrigated the way that it is, we're going to want to probably... See, look at these guys go, taking care of all these trees up here. We're going to probably want to make some modifications here after we decide where our launch spot is going to be. This is kind of a big building, and it does have to have the 2x5 area, including where the crane is, completely unobstructed in the water, including paths. Paths are a no-go for this. So what we can do is we can build this up on platforms. It doesn't have to be, you know, a whole thing. So I'm thinking maybe right here... Right here actually might be the best bet. So if we come into these spots right there, and I'm probably going to forget exactly what I was trying to do, but let's just check the... Yeah, okay. That will work as long as this is a send-only type of thing. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of these two because why not? But we do need the water to flow through this, so we don't want it to be a wall or anything like that. But behind all this, because we already have this kind of set up, I do think it's going to make sense to come in here and leave a little bit of space around it. But raise this level up and then build all of this up behind it as well. Except for maybe... No, I didn't want that, but that's fine. I want to be able to control where water flows over here. I think just a regular dam is going to be fine. Well, I guess I could just be boring and do one of these numbers, which means I actually could do that. And then this would actually make... I guess this is alright. So, we're going to have them do this eventually, because, as you know, don't have to say it. Just got to get them access through whatever means possible through here. Looks like that's going to be our means. Get that through there. Remove these. Actually, can they still reach? Well, I'm not going to know until they get down here on the stairs. Nope, not there. Leave that there. Anyway, that's where the launch has to be. Let's get this on triple speed again. That's where the launch is going to be. Come on, rotate. Don't press the F button. There we go. So, as far as the flow is concerned, it's decently fast here. We're going to remove this. This is just going to cascade down. It'll bump against the side, but the flow is strong enough where it's just going to keep on going. It might flip over, but that's, you know, that's showbiz. When we get down here, they might get caught on these as well, so we don't need to keep these. There's not really any reason for us to be worried about having these here anyway. Access is kind of bad, so I think this is going to be also a good opportunity to have that removed, and then because this is already opened up, let's get that situated here. Let's get that situated there. And, you know, I'll just put a staircase down here. It should be relatively pain-free to get all of that done. They certainly have their work cut out for them. So, you know, just let them do what they gotta do. No access to get rid of these trees here. We don't really need to have them have those trees cut down, but I'm just going to do it anyway because it's easier. And maybe we could raise the terrain and have this level with everything else. I don't know. We got options. You know, we have the technology. We can rebuild them, etc., so on and so forth. As long as this is actually the bottom level. No, not there. I think that's fine. Nothing wrong with having this be filled in. We have the dirt. We haven't really done anything with it. Yeah. So they'll take care of that. Pathway-wise, this is fine. This is fine. This is too deep for this to be an issue. It'll just kind of flow and bounce around. They could possibly get stuck on the trees, but I don't think it's going to be an issue, so I don't want to worry about that until it becomes a problem. When we get down here, this is where this is going to get a little weird, because currently we have these floodgates automated to prevent bad water contamination, but because we solved that problem, we actually don't need to keep these floodgates here. The only thing this is really doing right now with regard to the rafts is causing an obstacle. So we have to decide, do we want the rafts to go this way or this way? And I think for the sake of, you know, accessibility and future plans, it might make more sense to send them this way. But keep in mind, I was also looking into maybe raising this again. I'd have to rebuild the dam, but I don't know. And this is pretty quick here, too. So maybe what we want to do instead is just have the rafts go this way. So I think, again, seeing how we already automated this and it's a whole thing, and I'm not going to remove all the automation, but we really don't need to. This is going to be a scenario where we're going to want to put in the guides, which diagonal ones probably going to be our best friend here. These aren't going to stop water flow, they're just going to stop the rafts from doing behaviors that we don't want them to. So why don't we do one of these numbers? We can stack these. Just send this completely diagonal all the way through here. Just like that. We want it to be slightly above the water. Yeah, there we go. Because these will go completely on the surface here. I think they can reach all of these without having to go to another level here. Note that you cannot build on top of paths, so the paths are going to have to be removed. Unless, and I haven't tried this yet, but let's... Oh, cool. We actually don't have to worry about it. So this is going to bring these guys all the way down here and just funnel them through this thing, just very, very simply. Now, the fun part is going to be figuring out what we're going to do about this, because the floodgates are a little bit too tall to have them, you know, just go directly over. But, and I guess I can just go ahead and show this to you. If well, I can't put this here because that's where the sensor is, but say I were to do that. I'm going to pause this so they don't start building this just in case, but I put this here. You can see it kind of, you know, looks like the Hot Wheels ramp with the little foam things that would just... But I don't know, I don't think it's going to clear this, and it also might be too high. Might be too high like that. So let's take this out for the time being. And then take a look at here. This is set to 2.2 meters. But that's also because this is set to 2 meters. So we could actually raise this. As long as this were just slightly higher and maintain roughly the same water flow. So let's try raising this to, say, 2.5. And then change this to 2.7. Give it a little bit of time to equalize. It's going to slosh just a tiny bit. But if that does that way, and this is at 2.7, what that means is that I can take the floodgates out entirely, replace them with dams which don't have this extra piece on top, and the water level will be roughly the same. I believe this should catch up pretty soon. Hopefully. That's 2.5, that's 2.7. This is set to... Yeah, that's just an open and close thing. I don't exactly know that this is going to work, though, so we may have to... We may have to change this slightly, because this is also going to affect the speed of the current coming from here and here. Maybe not quite. Maybe not to the extreme that I'm thinking. Alright, well, if I want this to be 2.7, which is kind of what I was hoping, then I do need water to flow through here, and right now this is just getting way more than it needs to, and that's also flooding this area, which is going to cause some problems. So instead, let's put this at 2.65. Wait a second. Do I even have this on the... Okay, I do. Yeah, see, flooding this is going to be annoying. Yep, fluid dynamics and me are not necessarily the best of friends. I don't think that's a secret. All I did was just move them up the same amount, but that's not how fluid volume works. Now we just have to wait, and there's absolutely nothing else I can do about it except just wait for this to get cut up. So this is at 2.7. Now, see, there we go. Now we actually have some more stuff coming through here. I just need to make sure that this at about 2.7, actually 2.65 is probably closer to the dam level. I need to make sure this has enough going through it while still allowing this to have some come through. See, that's pretty sturdy. That's pretty strong. And this is still kind of working. Okay. I'm going to say... That looks funny with the dirt like that. I'm going to say that this is probably good enough. So, let's actually kind of remodel this a little bit. Because we have this here, this is going to bump into it and be annoying. So why don't we... Yeah, why don't we just do this all the way to here. They are going to require, you know, access to this top level, which is going to be... Oh, because I had this come this way. No, 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 we don't want that. Wait, no, stop it. Don't do it. Don't do it. We want this to be flipped around the other side. It's like a... Oh, it's like in a Roller Coaster Tycoon, since we also play that. Trying to place hedges on the side of paths. You can't ever put it in a place you might necessarily want to, because it's going to overlap with collision structures. Who could have seen that coming? Where I can't place it because of the diagonal thing. Alright. So, you know how this goes. Eternal experimentation, so on and so forth. I'm going to have to remove these floodgates, and this is going to cause some flooding issues, and there's not really any other way to go about it. But I do need... Probably... Man, I'm really making a commitment to this here. Yeah, let's leave the ones on the outside in place. And then place this here. And the whole reason that that is the way that it is because I have to put in this right here. And I want to say this is going to be adequate. Yes, that is exactly what I need to put in there, but like I said, this also has to be powered. So that is going to possibly create some challenges. But all we really have to do is hook this up to a windmill. Wind turbine, whatever the game is called that now. And then maybe a gravity battery, so it basically isn't ever going to break down. But they're going to take care of that. How do I still have 23 unemployed beavers? Oh, it's because these buildings are flooded. Okay, well, that is... it's not going to be flooded forever, right? Or has this flooded the downstairs? Oh. Yeah, that is certainly... That's certainly a problem. Okay, well, it seems to have solved itself, so... Be thankful for that. Yeah, they're just going to keep on doing what they're doing. How are we looking up here? Where did I put this thing? Aha! Okay. Nothing doing because they didn't... they don't have access to this. Alright, well, that's going to be fine. Now that I have this taken care of, that's removed, shouldn't be any obstacles there. They're just going to kind of tumble around. It's going to look a little weird, but it's fine. It's just logs. Not like there's going to be any, you know, actual consequences for doing this. Let's go ahead and put in the raft dock here, if I can remember the correct. There we go. Yeah, we'll put that there. And then we have to have a landing zone for all this stuff. But they will just kind of spawn out of thin air here. And let's see, they can't access this. So let's give them a hand. And... no, not there. I think they should be able to reach from there, hopefully. Okay, so now that that's been put in place... okay, the flow is still going through there, and that's what we want. Keep in mind, the raft will still go where the guides tell it to go, so long as there is at least one force vector. See, I remember some physics. That is going in the general direction. It's just a force applied to an angle, and I don't know, slope. I don't know the terms for it anymore. The last physics class I took was like 15 years ago. But I do know that this will work, and also because I've tested it. Let's go ahead and pop in that raft ramp, planks and gears, so on and so forth. This can also be automated. But right now, the biggest problem we're going to face with this is that it does not have any power. So, easiest way to fix that is to do one of these. That's not going to work, but that will. Which, objectively, is kind of funny, just seeing this. It doesn't need to have a lot of power, but I think what I'll do is put that up one more, because then on top of this, I can have a very simple setup where this goes over here, and then has a single gravity battery going not in the way of the rafts, just kind of like that. And they can build all of this without it being a huge nuisance. Is it pretty? No, but it's going to work. It'll work well enough for our purposes. So when the rafts reach this thing, they're going to be launched at great speed directly this way. It's going to be pretty funny to watch. I think the current's going to be our friend here. Remember, this is why I put in the suspension bridges, so we didn't have any obstacles. This is going to have them come at pretty quick speed into this area. So we're going to need to create a landing zone. And then probably also some storage for the stuff that's going to be coming off of the raft. Right now, the only real raw material we need to worry about coming in over here is logs, and we do have log storage. I'm going to probably say we don't need to be that worried about adding more storage right now. We're also not really using materials because we haven't gotten to bots yet. I guess I could leave that to you guys if you want to have bots or not. Let me know. But I think what we're going to be looking at doing here is just extending this enough to put in... I'm just going to kind of start spitballing here. Just extending this enough to start putting one of these things in, which will be... Well, actually, if I put it here, it'll basically always go to... Yeah, there we go. It'll always go to that. That'll be nice. Let's get that. Come on. Oh, it's not going to let me do it because of the path. That's right. Alright, and then that's going to be on the back side. Yeah, so this will need to have a connection to this area here. It is at a slightly higher level. So maybe what that means is we need to put in, before we actually build this, I know it's going to irritate the you-know-what out of you guys, but I do think it's worth doing something like this, quote-unquote, the right way, even if it's not as quick. So that's still regular platform? Yeah, but I'm going to put this back in just the same. Why is the game paused? Very good question. It doesn't have to be. Yeah, but that's going to keep the water level a little bit higher through here, and then once it goes down and around, then that should be okay. I think the amount of flow we're going to have coming through here is not going to be a problem. We'll see. We'll see, but we do have to still, you know, get this all added in. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I'm going to take this one out, just so it has a little bit more space here. Yeah, that's going to be just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit cleaner. Is that where the doorway comes out? It sure is. Let's just have this go quietly against the outside here. And then I believe this is going to be a good opportunity to get that blown up there. I'll take this away. And then, you know what? Actually, I know they just put that in there, but if I do that, then I don't have to have this, as long as this doesn't flood. Which we may need to make a couple of modifications to ensure that this isn't a problem. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's take these. Let's take these out, just make a little bit more space. Just a touch. In fact, I don't need to do that. I can just not put that ground there in the first place. I just need the flow to be consistent enough. Alright, they'll take care of that. We got plenty of other stuff to do. They've got this going. This is spinning its wheels. You can see that. And I do also appreciate that these graduate in size, which, of course, if you know anything about, you know, how this works, means that it's going to funnel everything toward the center. I think I might have to see where the landing zone actually is before I work on taking any of these out, but at the same time, we don't need this. So, strictly speaking, I'm just going to leave this like that. And we're going to see what happens. In terms of obstacles, these oak trees are decidedly in the way. And we don't need that. We don't need that. So let's get those removed. I don't know that they're going to be in range. Oh, they are. Okay. Cool. Was not expecting that. This is all looking good. Should be okay. Should be okay. This is ready to go. Is it beautiful? No. But that's, you know, one, that's showbiz. Two, it's fine. So let's get this rerouted just slightly here. Get that rerouted just slightly there. And since we are going to be sending logs, it probably makes more sense to have the beavers working here, not go all the way up, even if it is pretty close. So, why don't I take this out? I'll put this right like so, and then give them an underground pile. Again, I know this is not necessarily the best place for this to go, but why not? Why not? Just get rid of that. I'm not going to worry about it. Just make sure that this is properly taken care of down here. It's, you know, it's going. This isn't technically flooded, but let's... First of all, let's make sure we don't blow up any beavers. Let's K for kaboom this first, so nobody makes any bad choices. There we go. Alright, let's see how that has... And I know this is no longer connected. We're going to fix it. I just want to make sure that this can even out in a way that's not going to be a huge pain in the butt. Just add a little bit of extra flow. That looks fine. It doesn't look amazing, but it does look fine, so that is okay. This is accessible here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now Actually, you know what? I want to start this at dawn, not halfway through the day, because I guarantee you it's going to take a long time to get stuff down here, so we're going to leave that on triple speed. I am kind of unreasonably excited about this. I don't know if you can tell, but we're getting that ready to go there. Things are looking pretty good. I'm going to take most of the rest of the day to do that. Oh, this reminds me, since we're over here. We don't have storage for raw chestnuts. One of you was kind enough to point out. So, you know, we probably should. And currently the chestnuts are being farmed over here. So, were I to place a storage down, probably should be over here. And guess what? We have a forester that's doing absolutely nothing. So that goes away. And I'm just going to make a simple medium storage for the chestnuts. Not like it's really a problem. But we do need to have a storage somewhere. So that's going to help solve that problem. How are we looking here? Is this... Okay, it's got 300 some in there. We've got 3 beavers working here. Similar to a district crossing, they will go and retrieve the items that are supposed to be sent. But it's not far. Not going to be an issue. We can also prioritize it if we want. But now that the dawn is approaching, let's... this also pauses the game when you pull this up. But let's decide what's going on each raft. We can have mixed goods if we want, but right now... the goal is just to have logs, because that's what we're doing over here. So let's get this up to, looks like 66 kg, which is 11 logs. Every 4 hours is probably fine. If we want to move more, then obviously we can move more. But right now, let's see if we put it back to 4 hours. During working hours, which is 18 hours, that doesn't actually divide evenly. So if we go down to... Go down to 3 hours. That means, theoretically, assuming maximum efficiency, full staff, from the millisecond they're allowed to punch their time clock until the last millisecond that they would have to stay on the clock, they would be able to do 6 batches of 11 logs each, which doesn't seem like a lot. But keep in mind, you can have multiple dispatches. This is just one of those. So, I think this is probably fine. We can name this, so let's call this... Log float 1. Hit save. And there we go. So now all we've got to do is wait for the magic to happen, and we are going to see what happens here. So day 14. Give it up for day 14. We got these guys coming into work, and, well, whenever they decide to show up for work, they'll probably have to come from way over here, take the zip lines. I hope I didn't make any mistakes. This is going to be awkward if I did. But you know how it goes here. I don't take things out of videos. So if I fail, you get to see. You get to laugh along with me. So there we go. We got our first log float. That's going to float through here. Remember, this is the collection zone. The crane's going to drop it from that point. It doesn't seem to care about this collision mesh here, but we can actually follow this. So... I'm going to put this on triple speed because I don't think you want to sit here for another 45 minutes on normal. But we can see just how good of a job we did or didn't do getting obstacle avoidance. So it's probably going to flip. Yep, and it did. But it's logs, carrying logs. So guess what? Not a big deal. Go with the flow. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to time-lapse this raft going down because, to be perfectly honest, it's going to take a couple of minutes, and I don't want to sit here and riff on stuff in the meantime. So if something funny happens, then of course you'll be, you'll be informed, and I'll come out of time-lapse to do it, but I think we're going to be just fine, and I'll talk with you after the logs have been safely collected. Well, folks, it seems we have uncovered the flaw in my design here, and that is this does not launch it... doesn't launch it high enough. So, it's good that we found this out now. Let's hit pause. All we have to do, and this is a very simple fix, all we have to do, first of all, just say goodbye to that raft because it's never going to get unstuck. But all we have to do, remove the ramp, and then just move it back a single tile. And I think, you know what, I'm not going to worry about this. Don't need to lose sleep over it. I think that's going to be just fine there. Is there a reason for this to be a single? Actually, I guess, yeah. Yeah, there is. Let's get that hooked back up there. Make this the absolute highest priority, because these rafts are going to keep piling up. In fact, they're going to get stuck behind here, and that could possibly be a problem. Let's, for the time being, let's just kill these rafts, and we'll give it another shot here. I don't know that I need to get rid of any more of these, because by the time they get everything else over here constructed, then should be okay. Yeah, that was just a tactical error on my part. These absolutely should launch over this now, and if they don't, then well, you just get to see that in real time whenever I do. That shouldn't be a big deal. Just give them a little bit of time to take care of that, and we'll move on. But yeah, we have a drought coming in, so this is about to be completely useless until the drought's over. But you know, that's how it goes. In real life, they would have had a season for stuff like this. Log floats would have occurred only during times that they could have actually, you know, managed to use them. And that's just the way it goes. But it looks like this is going to be done maybe just in time. Come on. Alright. Now, we'll pick up where we left off. Turn this back on. And we should, you know, in theory, see this get launched happily over the dam. And if not, then, well, I'm over 2. Come on, big money. Yeah, alright. Not exactly elegant, but I'll take it. Now this is going to come through here and then do the same thing. I don't think it's going to flip back over, but the currents should be our friend here. Yeah, alright. Get this on triple speed. Fall off here. Currents once again doing all the hard work for us. And then as soon as this comes in, it's going to be right at the end of the workday, but you should see that just disappear. And suddenly, we got 11 logs in here. And now they're coming to take the logs away, put those in storage. Friends, I would say that is a successful operation. That is just so much fun to watch this. I hope I didn't get any stuck down there. No, I did not. Okay. Yeah, so this will just continue as long as the beavers are staffing it. You notice, wait a minute. Is it doing this at night? No way. In the middle of the night, surely it's not going to drop another one. I would be very impressed if it did. But it looks like... Yeah, it looks like... what? Okay, well, never mind. It's just going to keep going. That is pretty cool. But we've got a problem is that they're going to, you know, they're going to be dumping these during the dry season. And folks, that's just not going to work. So what we need to do is we need to automate these to a weather sensor. We already have weather sensors. I just have to remember, you know, who's who. So let's put this on single speed. I've got to remember which ones of these I've got set up, and I don't remember how to do that. That's bad. But I've got multiple Garys. Gary the Gatekeeper. Where is Gary the Gatekeeper? Somewhere over here, maybe. Come on, Gary. Gary, where are you? Oh, this is not quite. You know, not quite doing exactly what I thought it would. It's fine, I guess. It's a lot of water, though. Feeling pretty good about that. Let's hit pause so I can hear myself think. You know what? I don't want to go spend time looking for Gary. I'm just going to make another Gary because I can. So weather station. We don't have to name this Gary, but... Who am I kidding? This has to be Raft Gary. So this, we only want active during temperate weather. So, Gary is currently active. If we automate to Raft Gary, then it's going to pause him. However, that's because Raft Gary is not built. So as soon as this gets built, that'll be fine. If we wanted to be real fancy, then we could also, you know, put timers on this so it would be ready to go whenever, but I don't think it's that serious. We just need them to, you know, come and build Gary and then get the rest of these in place. But I think, honestly, this is pretty good for a first-time attempt in an actual playthrough. Look at these. I love watching these launch, even if it's not, you know, the perfect setup. It's still pretty cool. And also, this wasn't trying to go as far to the edge as I thought it would. Oh, there's no water going this way. Okay, well that's also kind of a problem. Let's lower this very slightly. Hopefully that doesn't completely mess up everything we've got going on. But I do need water to go this way as well. It should be okay. Woohoo! I love it. It just hops through the air. Oh, what fun. Isn't this a great mod? I love this. With my entire heart. It's perfect. So that's fine. Yeah, they're sort of, they're doing what they gotta do. Raft Gary has automated them. Thank you, Raft Gary. No, I will not be renaming the other ones. I know there's at least one of you who is very diligent about asking. I'm not going to do it because I'm just going to get confused. I'm sorry. I also don't remember where all of them are. So, I mean, I hate to have such a short episode, but we kind of can't do anything with these when there's a drought. And the other stuff I got planned for the future of this playthrough, I think, is going to take a little bit longer to do than I would have to record in this one setting. So, I guess this is our time to do end of episode stuff. So I appreciate you guys sticking with the series, giving me some helpful feedback, some helpful ideas, and of course I always appreciate the support of the Beard Boosters who make it possible to continue doing these things and subsidizing the channel. Can never, ever, ever say thank you enough to those folks. You know who you are, and, well, if you don't know who they are, their names are on the screen, so now you know. I don't even know how many names are on there. It's probably close to 2,000 at this point. But is what it is. Those folks keep the lights on, literally and figuratively, and allow me to have what I would consider to be one of the best jobs in the world, which is playing with beavers on the internet and getting to talk to you guys all the time. So now that that's done, I see we have a problem. And because I altered the flow, pray that I don't alter it further, but I'm going to have to, these are bunching up right here. They're not getting launched. So this is going to be the time where I've got to, you know, reduce the flow going out that side granularly a little bit. Try to redirect it so that these float freer of the wall here. See, we had it working so nicely, and then I had to go and change it. I had to do it, and then, you know, bad things happen. That's the way it goes. I guess I just have to raise that as well. Hopefully, try to funnel the water a little bit more this way. It doesn't seem like it's going to want to let me do this. That is a shame. That really is, because this is working so well. Well, you know how it works. I don't take mistakes out of these videos, so if something kind of dumb happens, then, well, that's the way it goes, folks. Yeah, I guess I just have to kind of continue playing with these until these unstick from the wall. Yeah, it looks like this may require a little bit of finagling here. Well, anyway, I already said goodbye, so this is where we have to end this episode, but we'll adjust this next time. And of course, feel free to leave your comments and ideas if you've played with the mod, and let me know your thoughts on how we implemented this. I got plenty more of those, but for now, I do have to go. Have a great rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. Stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you again soon for more beavers and more raft logistics. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.